Daddy, why did you eat my fries? I bought them, they were mine. But you ate them, you ate my fries. What kind of father eats his daughter's fries and doesn't even look her in the eyes? Daddy, do you even love me? Hello, Dragon Keeper 19600 here, and that was a rhetorical question. We are here with Transformers Energon, and I swear I will finish this. This is episode 11, The Legend of Rodimus. It is a beautiful day to be angered by cartoons. Let's begin. Yes, title. Unicron ship. Very poorly controlled. Whoa! Hey! Wow. Megatron never had a knack for parking. Seemed determined to hit every car in the lot, actually. So one thing I'll hope you notice, this fabulous commentary, is that the audio quality is hopefully much better than it usually is, because for Christmas, I got a shiny new blue snowball microphone. Only $19.95. Yes. Yes. It's very good. Very crisp, hopefully. I'm checking the volume regularly because I want to make sure it's audible. It seems to be. I'll keep checking in. So this is a dub-gaffed conversation here where I guess they crashed the ship and that the tunnels he made are receding because Unicron is apparently in his fat days and needs more and more Energon just to keep running functionally. So they bungled that though. Not that it makes sense anyway, so I'm thirsty. Okay, there's a reason Alpha Quintesson wants to bring Unicron back to life, and I don't really know how the dub treats it. I wonder if they just pave over it entirely. Like, nope, he wants it because he's evil. Of course, that's the only reason you need. Evil. Look, because he's evil is not really a motivation, okay? In defiance of Godwin's law, I will say Hitler had motivations too, other than he was evil. If you want a good villain, evil is not a good enough motivation. I'm sorry. It's not a motivation at all, really. It's just a word. Like toothpaste, for instance. Except toothpaste is a noun that describes a concrete thing, whereas evil is much more abstract, really. Oh, I forgot to comment on the stupidity. When I first saw this episode, it was really baffling to me what they were doing. Get this. They're constructing these towers by, like, lowering them, stacking them on top of each other like Lincoln logs. I'm sorry, Transformers Energon. But construction is a little more complicated than that. You can't just stack them like Legos. Why would you even do that anyway? It means you have to build it separately somewhere else and then transport it there, and then you cannot be a centimeter off as you're lowering it, or else it'll all be wrong. Wrong! Energon, stupid show. Engineering students right now are bashing their heads against their keyboards.
Kicker, I'd like you to go too.
Kicker? Troll?
You could even lead the team down there.
You, a 16-year-old. Hi, kid. That would be ridiculous.
You're the one with the talent.
So, as I mentioned in my previous video that I have not watched recently, so I don't remember what I said exactly, but I did say that we would find out in this episode why exactly Kicker is so angry with his dad.
I'm over here.
And boy, is it a doozy.
Sorry about that. You picking up on any Energon?
Energon. Is that all anyone cares about?
Yes, it's the subtitle of the freaking show. Pay attention, Kicker.
Kicker, I'm going to lower you down nice and slow.
Is that too loud? Sorry.
You let me know if you sense
This mic is just so wonderful.
It's so dark.
Still hear me? Yes.
Don't be scared. I've got you, son. Everything will be just fine.
I've got you miles away, lowering this rope down. It's a very long rope. Here you go, unprotected child, into the darkness.
Hey, Kicker,
Nice going.
let's go up for some air. I think all this searching
They just
around
cut
in the
away?
dark might be
Did they
getting
cut a
to
scene
you.
there? Because he's facing a different way? Oh, whatever. So, let's go back the way we came. Seriously, what are they even doing down there? Oh, looking for Energon.
Hey, what's gotten into you? If it's about your dad, don't you think it's time you got over it?
What's that?
I mean, like, you're kind of being a baby right now. Okay, Ironhide, word of advice. You cannot ask a 16-year-old to just get over it. Angst doesn't work that way.
Your father's depending on us. We can't just let him down.
Just your father, nobody else.
Oh, and by the way, you can lose the attitude.
Thanks, but spare me the lecture.
What's going on?
Ironhide is lecturing you. Your life is taking a turn for a worse if that's going on.
To his father. You know, respect him instead of pushing him away all the time.
Dear God, I hate you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the line in Japanese was a little creepier and more enthusiastic there. Japanese, Ironhide says something like
But do you remember the
to Hotshot that I was just thinking that Kicker needs to be more grown up like Hotshot Dono. And then Hotshot goes, oh god. Because hero worship makes people in Japan uncomfortable.
No one has heard from him since.
Makes a lot of Americans uncomfortable too, come to think of it. Especially you, Robert Pattinson. Yes, you deserve a shout out.
But sir, that could be risky.
Okay, they're obviously not awake right now, Dub. Stop trying to pretend that characters who are not functioning are. I'm speaking through my teeth. I took acting lessons from Shaquille O'Neal. Okay, seriously, somebody count how many times they say that phrase. It would be in the thousands, I bet. 52 episodes, 51 actually, since they didn't dub that one episode. If I find it, I might commentate over Scorponok's scars, but oh! Ah!
Listen up. We're going to raid, conquer, and destroy. I will accept nothing less than
I have no motive! I am just evil! Evil! Evil!
feel your plan will work, then go ahead. Just bring me the Energon. Yes.
By the way, this plot goes nowhere.
Changed your minds?
Nowhere!
Why are you letting him go? Because he was getting on my nerves.
Oh, well, with iron reasoning like that, how can you argue?
My energy as well.
Meaning, nap.
Excellent idea, sir.
May I join you? Pshack! Sorry.
Running this operation is really
Seriously.
down.
I got nothing against Demolisher, but come on. When he says, I'm going to recharge, which basically is the Transformers equivalent of sleeping, and Demolisher says really enthusiastically, good idea, sir!
What was that?
Bro,
Scorponok seems to
tug
be
on my
upset
fur.
about something. Well, I'll show him. Leave him.
I'll show him my hand! It's got guns on it, it's really cool. By the way, has anybody ever seen Cyborg 009? Show that was around the same time this show was, that also featured a character who had guns for hands? Cartoon Network have some sort of input on these shows. They're probably the reasons they got dubbed so poorly. Stupid Cartoon Network. The only show that's worthwhile on that channel anymore is Adventure Time.
Yes.
Did you like that? Did you hear that, fanboys? Okay.
Close by. I know it.
Seeing red.
There he is.
Hey, Kicker.
Now to draw a mustache on him with this marker I borrowed from Knockout.
In a minute. First, tell me more about this Rodimus guy.
You don't know about Rodimus?
Let me tell you about Rodimus!
Would I? I'm not a Transformer.
Cha!
He came from Cybertron. He's one of the most...
Wait, a Transformer from Cybertron. You need to slow down, because this is too weird for me.
Took off into the future.
Oh, well that happened about...
He's a
2,000
time
years
traveler.
ago.
He doesn't have a TARDIS, though. He uses those crappy time bracelets. So unreliable.
Between the Autobots and the Decepticons.
That might be the nerdiest joke I've ever made. No, it can't possibly be.
Until Rodimus came along and rallied
Okay,
the
this
Autobots
story, by the
to
way,
massive
is really
defeats.
lame. And I feel like I'm missing something
All
because
Transformers.
he didn't usher in
We
a
all
new
learned this
era.
famous speech
Here's
from
what
Cybertron.
happened, as far as I understand. Rodimus got sick of fighting, so he rallied a bunch of Autobots together
Nothing happens.
and left the planet.
Left Cybertron in
He went AWOL. He ditched. You know, I don't know what
better world.
weird honor system Cybertron works on. The speech is terrible, by the way. What sort of honor system Cybertron works on.
Back.
But in America, we sort of frown very severely on that sort of thing.
And he took many Transformers with him too. Rodimus was
And by many, we mean two other guys, because that's all we see of his crew. Just two other guys.
That's a great story.
Out of all this 10 million year war, that's the coolest story you could come up with? There's gotta be way cooler scenarios that happen. Maybe with the minicons? You know? Those things that the previous war was all about? Anything?
Optimus is the greatest leader, and there's not a better warrior among us.
Uh-oh. We're in show don't tell, show don't tell.
This is totally my
You're supposed to show don't tell. Error, error.
the ends of the universe and beyond.
I guess it's time for Optimus'
Listen,
Pilates.
Kicker, you'd
Or I'll pound you!
Optimus if you just
Yeah,
kept
yeah,
taking
listen, Energon, you can't say that you can't make someone be a great hero just by constantly saying that they're a great hero. That's not how it works. You need to show them doing heroic things.
Lost in space.
Lost in space. How would they get lost in space? What would they be doing? Duh. I love how he says, maybe he'll stop on this planet. And next episode, guess what happens? He stops on their planet. Ha! Weird. I like to think there's like a little speaker in the Terracons that's just constantly projecting that ambient noise. That would be less ridiculous than a lot of the things in the show. Like the robot cat girl maids, for instance. God, this animation blows. I swear, it blows more and more every time I see it. It needs help.
Ignore what Megatron says. You serve a new master now.
And once again, plot point. Doesn't go anywhere. It's Terracons, as far as I know, still obey Megatron. And so does Scorponok. Scorponok's a lot to talk about. Oh, here it is. Here it is, people. This is the beginning of the end, at least for me. This was sort of the show's moral event horizon for me. The point of no return, where I decided, you know what, fuck this show, and everyone who worked on it. Not the voice actors, I don't blame you. Writers, director, animators, and everyone who thought this was a good idea, go to hell, all of you.
So this is the one called Megatron. I must destroy him.
Ow. Look how far that goes into him. Ow, it's like poking out the other side. And then his sword is gone. I lost my sword. Where is it?
Hey, what's going on? Can a guy get some sleep around this place?
The Decepticons hard at work, ladies and gentlemen.
What?
What?
Megatron, sir.
That was,
Done to Megatron.
Don Bratt. Oh, God, what's the actor's name? I used to know. Cyclonus' actor's strategy. Give all your lines like Cyclonus has a trifle death in 1 year.
I'm here.
Is that you, Megatron?
Hi.
And Starscream did try to attack
Sasa,
me,
Midasa.
and he's still in the room.
Where is he? I don't see him.
You have 50 seconds to find him.
You can't see him.
Oh, wait, no. You gave it away. You ruined it.
Invisibility because I have become one with Unicron.
Exposition, Russia. A-S-A-P. So yes, this is Starscream's and Megatron's first proper reaction since he sacrificed his life to save them all. Megatron's perspective of him was completely changed, and he lost all his memory.
Did you really think
And-
you'd sneak up on me and I wouldn't notice?
Oh god, so many good opportunities for storytelling here. First of all, these stupid powers, they never show up again. There's no reason to show them off like this. This is just pointless filler. Second of all, there's a whole lot of character you could have had here. You could have had Starscream, Megatron maybe try to get him to remember, or maybe mock him. That comes up later, but it's just kind of rushed. I just feel like this was waste. It's so sloppily put together. Anyone who gave the slightest shit about the last series, the slightest, puny little string of a shit, would do more with this scene than what they're doing here. Instead of this oh, the needles all vanished there. Instead, they throw some really stupid images at us that not even Star Fox would include in their lineup. I'm talking like old, like early 90s Star Fox. Yoink. Now this scene coming up here is rather infamous because, a lot of people compare it to a rape scene. To not dance around the issue, not mince around it. That's what it reminds people of. And I agree with this wholeheartedly. So, like, there are some scenes in Transformers fiction where I say, oh, no, that's not homoerotic. No, you're reading too much into it. Oh, no, you know, that's just them. That's friendship, you guys. You're such pervs. But this, I honestly don't think there's any other way to interpret it. I mean, now this does not mean I ship Starscream Megatron because it's a rape scene and that has nothing to do with romance. Rape has nothing to do with love. It doesn't even have anything to do with sex. Well, it does have a lot to do with sex, but actually, it mostly has to do with power, controlling someone. And with that in mind, look at this scene and see if there's any other way to interpret it all. Not this scene, but soon.
Deal with him soon enough, but for the time being, Starscream.
Don't call me that!
I'll just let the darkness swallow
I
you.
obey. I must obey my puppeteer.
I'm telling you, I can't do it anymore. Now leave me alone.
I just can't be in this series anymore. I was in Death Note, for God's sake.
Waiting for us.
I could be good at acting if you'd only give me a chance.
Kicker?
Yeah, okay, wait. I want to tell you about something I experienced.
I want to tell you about the Transformers. And then Rad calls his lawyer.
Just like the mission we're on now.
Oh, here we go.
It happened when I was on one of my father's Energon expeditions.
Yeah, Dr. Jones really fucked up this one. Look at him! He's all alone in space! Do you know how easy it is to be horribly killed in space?
Go in closer to the asteroids. Adjust your air and just go.
Oh, he disconnects the cord! That's even better! Okay, they're looking for Energon right now. Because Kicker's like a little, dowsing rod. And his father is not even with him. Sending him off totally alone in space. Yeah. What did you think was gonna happen?
Well, it seemed like hours. Finally, I landed on one of the asteroids and got a hold of my dad on the radio.
I don't like Kicker, but
Just relax.
he's like 6 years old here. Okay, no kid deserves this. And,
I'll try, Daddy.
There's no need.
man, is his dad an asshole.
Just remember, I'm right there with you.
Right there with him, really, because I don't see you, asshole. He doesn't see you either.
It's so
You're not around. You're back in your safe base drinking coffee out of a sippy cup so it doesn't float all over your face, since apparently there's not any artificial gravity on your ships.
Dad was more concerned about finding the Energon than he was about my safety.
What a frickin' asshole.
I can't forgive him for that.
Boy, Kicker.
And he hasn't even apologized
You're
for it.
such a wimp.
What?
Have you forgotten what I told you about Rodimus?
These are the right words, but that's the very wrong time, Ironhide.
He risked it all and went into space.
He ran away from a war! How is that brave? That's cowardly!
A kid.
Well, you're not a kid anymore. You gotta prove
Legally, yes he is. Put it behind you, stupid dad even apologized. That's why I sort of wish that they'd made Dr. Jones, like, have some sort of... They kept the angle that maybe he's a little crazy, that he has some sort of mental disorder. That way, it would be more understandable that he would do something like that. It wouldn't make it okay, but it would make it, more understandable. Why? Instead of just, fuck my son. Oh, by the way, that's supposed to be Megatron there instead of Tidal Wave.
That's it. Cut it all away. Rid yourself of whatever is left of the life you once knew. Get rid
So this is the taunting
only know the joy
that
comes
I
from
feel like
small
should happen.
things. It's what you do.
I feel like it'd be too much of a change for Megatron to be glad to see Starscream, like, in a genuine, heartfelt way. But I feel like this taunting and to come back to the fold, I think is good.
why Optimus.
But yeah, it's rushed. It's not handled very smoothly. I wish the animation was better so we could see some emoting. Michael Dobson, bless him, is trying. So is David K. But
Sound like him now. What's wrong with me?
if you're talking about the whining, you were already doing that, Ironhide.
I'll find my own way out of here.
I will dig a tunnel to the surface like a mole. Oh, here we go. This is it, people. This is the quote-unquote, not really quote at all, rape
You're
scene.
not invincible. My sword can either extinguish your spark.
Listen to this dialogue and see if...
You're mine. Now don't even bother resisting.
Oh, dear God.
You'll only make it worse, and that could be painful.
I need an adult.
You have an important decision to make. Say you'll join me, or I'll let you slip away into the darkness. I, Megatron, am your only leader now. Say my name and I'll spare you.
What?
Is my name Starscream? Megatron.
Oh, Jesus.
Say it again.
Me! Yes! Run!
You're dead to me, Show. You're dead to me. You're dead. Okay, let's go down the checklist here. I don't care about Kicker's arc about finding the Energon and finding strength because as I don't think he finds strength at all. I'm gonna talk about that scene. First of all,
I can do this.
he's getting really personal with Starscream, like touching him in places he don't want. Starscream says, "No, get away," and he keeps coming closer. He jams his sword through his chest, through much protestations with Starscream, taunting him and saying that he's mine now, and it's no good to fight back.
You're back.
Then pretty much saying, "You'll join me now, you belong to me." And in Japanese version, it gets even worse, where he says, "You like it, don't you?" Which is even worse.
But I was being tough with you for
I'm convinced that's a rape scene. And shame on you.
Don't
Because when I watch Transformers, I did not expect that shit.
Come on, is that any way to treat a pal?
I mean, that's kind of a hot button thing. That's a horrible crime. And to make and to introduce it in this show for children, it won't be obvious to the kids, but it's like, it's so wrong. And it's such obvious pandering to the fangirls, while completely missing that they want. It's disgusting. And what's even worse, it would be bad enough if it was like, if it fed the story at all. Here's what it does. Megatron has just wiped Starscream's mind. Not only does he have no memory, he is also now a soulless monster. So apparently whatever he did to him either traumatized him so much or he brainwashed him or something, so that now not only does he no longer remember Armada, he has no identity at all. He no longer wonders who he is. He just follows Megatron, the guy who stabbed him brutally and mentally tortured him, totally mindlessly, without ever arguing, with complete loyalty. A lot of people say that that's when he's at his most sympathetic. And when he's like, oh, he's so loyal in that series, you know, he's so different. He was brainwashed. He was literally mind raped. I am very angry with this show for just being such a... for not caring about a kid's safety, for saying that a kid got a man up other than face their child abuse and don't you quit on me, and for just being so disgusting. This show. Okay, I've gone over the time limit now. Strandkeeper 19600. I hope you... God. If you have any comments about the scene or anything else I've said, let me know, because I want to know, is there any other way to interpret that? Do you see any other way? Because please let me know. I would love if what I saw wasn't intentional. If that was just not... if that wasn't how it... I just can't even form sentences anymore. I'll see you guys later.